Morning. It's Thursday, December 22nd, and I'm going to rant today about vetting of candidates. Because we have a situation on Long Island where George Santos won election as a congressman, and after he has won and before he is sworn in to represent us in Congress, questions have been raised about his qualifications, about the items that he presented in his resume. And so I have said many times before, and especially in the light of the candidates that President Trump put forth to run for various offices, that the party is responsible for vetting these candidates. It's not the responsibility of the opposition to vet the candidates. Because if we let the opposition vet the candidates, they'll bring all kinds of shit into the mix. So the Republican Party has a huge responsibility, and the Democratic Party has a huge responsibility to make sure that anybody that they allow to run for office under their party name is qualified, and that everything in his experience, in his resume, is true. Truth is important. So we have George Santos telling a whopper, and his resume may be largely fiction. So Santos, who's a Republican from New York, says he is the embodiment of the American dream. And why does he stand up there and say that? He's an immigrant from Brazil, and he's gay. Now those two things in and of itself cast him in a different position. And people say, wow, this guy's good. He came from out of the country and he worked himself up. But he misrepresented a lot of his career highlights. For instance, he's telling everybody that he's a graduate of Baruch College. Now, Baruch was at one time an outstanding business school in this country. I myself have 2 degrees from Baruch College, and it wasn't easy to get 2 degrees from Baruch College. You had to work your ass off. You had to be good at what you were taking. And I took accounting there, and then I majored in computer science there. And I got 2 degrees, and I'm proud of those degrees, right? So he's claiming that he went to Baruch College. But there's no record of him ever attending Baruch College. How has he got the collusions to pick a school like Baruch College, which is a well-known institution and easily checked by people from the New York Times or the New York Post, or anybody in New York can check, and they know where Baruch is on 23rd Street in Manhattan. So why is he using that? That proves he's not exactly that intelligent if he's claiming to be a graduate of Baruch and it's so easy to check up on him. And not only was he stupid enough to claim that he graduated from Baruch, he also mentioned that he worked at Citigroup and at Goldman Sachs, which are high-level Wall Street firms. But nobody there has any record of Mr. Santos working in either of those locations. So it takes huge collusions to tell this kind of story, picking notable firms where you can certainly check up on him, taking a university that's easily checked and using them for your curriculum, right? For your experience level, to get a job as a congressman. And maybe the only true qualification that he has to be a congressman is that he doesn't always tell the truth, the absolute truth. He's a spin master, perhaps. Perfect to be a congressman in that regard, right? And beyond his lies about his educational level, his businesses are under question also. He claims that he has a charity called the Friends of Pets United. And the Internal Revenue Service could not locate any record of a registered charity with that name. So what is he doing? He lies about the jobs and the things that he really owns? His financial disclosure suggests a life of some wealth. He lent his campaign more than $700,000 during the midterm election. and has donated thousands of dollars to other candidates in the last 2 years. And he has a reported salary of $750,000. So where's he getting this money from? And over $1 million in dividends from his company, the DeValder organization. Is all of that a lie also? Apparently the donations are true, and maybe that's why they allowed him to run, because he gave them a lot of money. But who knows where he's making this money? Who knows if anything else is really true? Who checked up on him? Certainly not the job of Zimmerman and the opposition campaign to do that checking. That's the job of his party. I contend that every candidate should be vetted by the party that allows the candidate to run under its name and under its auspices. So the Democrats probably have plenty of people who lie too, but they haven't been caught recently. But the Republicans, with guys like Herschel Walker and George Santos disgracing their name, should be ashamed of themselves. Every candidate from now on should be looking over his shoulder and worrying that whatever he has told people better be the truth. Or maybe I won't even get on the ballot anymore. And who is to say this guy's really gay? Has he produced anybody to vouch for him in that regard also? And this business is in the scrutiny also. The DeValder firm has no website. It has no paperwork to show that it really exists. So how can a guy like that get himself into a position to run for a high office in the United States, to run for Congress, when everything about his background is under great questions right now? And his so-called firm that he runs is supposed to own properties. But the New York Times couldn't find any records of any properties that this company owns. So as far as I can tell, this guy is a major fibber, and he should not be sworn into office, and there should be a special election rerun for this particular seat. Because it's a disgrace that a person like this could end up running for office. And it's a disgrace that the Republican Party allowed him to run for office. And I would say the very same thing about any Democrat, that the Democrats are responsible for who they nominate and who they allow to run. It's not for the opposition to search, because if you have opposition searching, nobody will believe them anyhow. And so I leave you with that. Vetting of people who run for office is a critical element that's missing in our society. And that's it for today. Bye.